December 14th, 2019, and as I'm documenting my little experience of human rights violations and vendetta of hate crime that's being perpetrated in Tralee, um, the latest update that I want to share about would be regarding spirituality. Um, Personally, I would consider myself atheist. Um, I would consider myself a good human being, an honest human being, etc. The thing about it is, with regard to matters of faith, it's personal. Faith is personal for everybody, and one person might choose one direction, and another might choose, you know, whatever direction of faith suits that person. It's personal. It's a private, you know, choice, personal choice. Um, as I've described, um, since 2017, um, the culprits of who I'm aware of and whom this whole community is aware of, and that have been perpetrating the most vicious assaults of human rights, um, with a very, very serious agenda of damaging an innocent woman's life due to their defects of character. Um, that's their issue. My issue is the 29 human rights violations I'm experiencing. Um, as I've said, there's been violations of privacy, there's been breaches of confidentiality, and there's been bodily integrity violations by very unethical means. There's also been defamation, spiritual defamation, outrageous, nonsensical defamation, hideous defamation regarding um, Emer Griffin McElligott and religion, faith, and spirituality. As I've described in previous uploads, um, my faith is personal, humanity, humankind, you know, mind your own business kind of a thing and get on with your own life. That would be the approach to my faith. Um, the thing about it is, the community that has collectively decided to destroy my livelihood, my health and well-being due to hate crime, and have used political individuals in their agenda and have manipulated the situation based on falsehoods and defamation and very serious violations, and that have taken liberties in my private life that is no business of theirs. As I've said, I've been harassed from my marital home. I've been harassed from my familial home um, due to the means and tactics being employed and applied by the guilty culprits. I'm currently now in HAPS accommodation. It's peace and quiet for the healing that I need from the abuse and assaults and violence that I've endured. The guilty culprits, you know, have been very busy with causing more trouble for me. There's been continuous false calls, false claims, very serious kind of trouble trying to be caused in Tralee. And one of the aspects of the trouble being caused is a violation of faith and religion and spirituality. Um, the issue I have with this is not only that it's a blatant and obvious violation, um, and it's an offence for any individuals to attempt to perpetrate any violation of another individual's personal belief system, faith, religion, etc. What my big issue is, since 2015, there have been individuals, guilty culprits in this community, that have tried to design and orchestrate and perpetrate their own plans regarding my personal belief system. For the record, I've planned my marriage. Secondly, um, my faith isn't anyone's business. Thirdly, the guilty culprits that have perpetrated human rights violations and other more serious offences, I might add as well, um, by violating my right to liberty, career, family, etc., um, have involved political individuals to serve their own agenda. Now, the issue about all of this is that as a woman with medical needs that has been denied medical treatment and that has been harassed from a marital home and deserted, etc., 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 and that has been made unemployable due to the culprits with the, you know, agenda of causing constant trouble, and involving political individuals and other individuals in my privacy of where I am dwelling. This matter is very serious, not only for the issue of sexual assault and revenge porn over a decade ago that I have recovered from, but also currently the more serious issues of hate crime and human rights violations and legal issues that have been caused due to defamation, false information, violations of privacy, breaches of confidentiality, and medical negligence. The very fact that my career as a teacher has been ruined, and the fact that these culprits, hypocrites, harassing me and my human rights and being completely out of order, have not only damaged my health and my livelihood and career, but also have tactically and systematically and quite cleverly restricted and confined me, a victim of their crimes in Tralee, County Kerry. As a HAPS recipient and as a Job Seekers Allowance recipient, these people are playing games with my entitlements. As a law-abiding citizen, and as I've stated, the authorities are aware, and so are the politicians. The people involved, and the political party involved as well, I might add, that are abusing their positions and taking liberties with my rights and entitlements, have caused the most serious of issues in society. This matter that I'm experiencing is not only unwarranted and unjustifiable, the issue that they have caused has not helped anyone in this situation, and those that are trying to, what would you say, get the upper hand and proclaim themselves and espouse themselves as, you know, human beings in a position to destroy innocent life, have very seriously misunderstood the reality of this situation. Now, if what I'm sharing isn't comfortable for those that are hearing and listening to what I have to share about, which is the reality of this situation, then I hope they'll be able to empathise with the fact of how uncomfortable and how distasteful and how much I dislike people taking liberties with my human rights. The issue of the legal aspect of all of this is that the compensation which I am due, not only for defamation, not only for the unlawful detainments I've experienced, not only for the falsehoods, false claims, and the medical negligence, I might add, and as well as other more serious matters that have affected other innocent individuals, then I hope they understand how upset I am if they are upset about what I have to share about. The damage done to my body due to bodily integrity violations and the most hideous of defamatory claims made about a woman that they have no interaction with, that they do not live with, that they do not know, and that they are not in a position to be disrupting or disturbing in any way, especially with regard to the problems that they've caused. As a job seekers allowance recipient and as a HAPS recipient that has paid my rent I've paid my rent every week, my allowance, I received in the post an arrears amount of however much, which is highly incorrect. This is the harassment that I'm experiencing in county council accommodation, with people violating my constitutional rights and my human rights. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and what is keeping me awake is not just the fact that I've got aches and pains. The other issues that have been caused in this, arrangement in this community that has been so spiteful, malicious, and juvenile, because that's all this is. People taking liberties and playing a dangerous game with an innocent woman's life that they have no business interfering with. As regards faith, the hypocrisy and the harassment by individuals that have no authority to make any judgment calls, no authority and no position to be making judgment calls about anyone, because there's always the pink finger pointing back when people start pointing at others. So I hope, as I keep saying, hope not hate, as Mr. Brown over in the UK would say, that the hatred that is going on in this town and the harassment of my human rights, I hope they understand how much they violated my bodily integrity already. And I hope already that they understand the assaults and violence that I've already endured, that the authorities have ignored, and that the individuals that obviously have more worrying mental health matters are the people that the mental health services and authorities need to be confronting, besides victimizing a victim of culprits of hate crime and human rights violations. So, for the political party that I'm fully aware of, and the culprits that they're getting, their information from, and the falsehoods that are being relayed, I hope they understand that they have no business causing me any further harm or damage after the damage and harm that has already been done. Because the compensation alone and loss of earnings and damage done to my livelihood. Human rights, Tralee, County Kerry, whatever rules and laws that this town has concocted for itself, without even consulting or informing or updating, as I am entitled to be informed and updated and consulted about, is another issue. The Freedom of Information 2014. I haven't been provided with any information about what I should be informed of. So the damage and harassment to my living arrangements, from my marital home to my family home, and now to county council accommodation, being threatened by false reports of arrears. As well as that, my job seekers allowance, which should actually be a disability allowance, but due to medical negligence and other ill practices with regard to my health and whatnot. So I hope I'm making myself clear that there aren't any individuals in any position to cause any more harassment, because this issue is a human rights issue. It's an EU law issue. And the legal eagles that are facilitating injustice, discrimination and inequality, and the doctors and professionals that are disobeying their Hippocratic oath, those professionals, including the authorities and the politicians, have a very, very serious duty of care and obligation, not only to an innocent, law-abiding citizen, but more so to the culprits that are causing human rights problems in what was a lovely town, a tidy town, Tralee, County Kerry, until 2017, when people started perpetrating vendettas of hate crime.